do testnet bitcoins have real value? It's sort of a paradox because testnet coins are supposed to be free because they are needed for testing. And if they do get value, they will be useless for testing. But there's something more to it because testnet coins, they are, in reality, they're just a blockchain like any other blockchain. In fact, testnet runs on Bitcoin Core just like mainnet does. Anyone who runs Bitcoin Core, they can just change one parameter and they run testnet instead. It's exactly like Bitcoin, it's just a blockchain. Let's quickly look at a block explorer. So here you see this is Bitcoin Testnet Explorer, but it looks just like a regular Bitcoin Explorer with the latest blocks, blah, blah, blah. Everything is the same. And yeah, you can see it has Bitcoin, it has some other currencies, and testnet. Almost all explorers have both because they're so similar. By design, they're similar. So how would you get testnet coins? Well, I can just say quickly that mining is not really an option anymore. You could, if you want, buy a $5,000 ant miner. There you would get your testnet coins. But even this one is not available until October. Now it's May, so that's half a year from now. You can use faucets, they still work, but they're not really working that well anymore. It seems like they're running dry. Let me show you here. I used it before, so I can get my address like this. Get bitcoins. Okay, there's something with... But last I used it, it did work, but I had to wait for 12 hours to get more bitcoins. And the amount I got was very small. And that's a point that I will get to later. Another one that worked was up1.net. But I just used it. Let's see if it want to give me coins again. I don't think it will. Okay, great. So I do get some coins from this faucet, but you see it's like, it's 1/10 of a millibitcoin or milli-testnet Bitcoin. And that's my point. The amount of coins you can get from a faucet is very, very small. They're running dry, like I said, and sometimes for testing you need more coins than just like some dust. So my point is that testnet coins, they do have some value, otherwise people would just give them to you for free, but no. There's demand for them more than there is supply, and therefore it's difficult to get. And here you see my point proven. This is a quote from the forum, and he writes, "If I don't know you, and you have a legit use case for a test Bitcoin, I will send you as much as you need without interest, but I still require enough real BTC as collateral." So that's the point. He doesn't just give you so-called worthless test Bitcoins. He needs real Bitcoin as collateral. Hence, testnet coins have value to him. Otherwise, he would just give them away for free. So I can also show you my example. So I was embedding an NFT art on the blockchain. It was an experiment. Actually, it was from 2014-15 when I did it the first time. That was on the real Bitcoin blockchain. And now some people are considering this the first NFT ever. And here in this video, I used testnet just to recreate that process and show how I did it. But the problem is I didn't get enough testnet coins from the faucet to pay the fees to make this transaction. And thankfully, I had some leftover test coins from before, because earlier it was easier to get test coins. But if I didn't, I would have needed to wait for the faucet because it only gives me a certain amount every 12 hours. Or I would have to go and beg in the forums. So if I could, I would rather just pay, at least pay a little bit. Time is valuable too, right? So how to buy these coins? Unfortunately, you can't buy them. I think the only thing you can try now is to talk in the forums. Maybe someone has coins and they would sell to you. And I think why there is no market at the moment is, first of all, the conventional wisdom is that testnet coins are worthless, so why would there be a market? And it's also this fear that if they do get some value, they will become useless. And that's, but I think this logic is not correct. But there's also like a stigma or taboo, because if someone in the Bitcoin community starts selling those coins, other people are not going to like it. They're going to say, no, these coins are supposed to be worthless. If you're selling them, you're a scammer. But I don't think that's I mean, that's nonsense. Testnet coins are coins like any other coins. It's a blockchain like any other blockchain. What people say that they are, that's one thing, but in reality, it's just a blockchain like any other chain. Yes, I would call you a scammer if you say that these are real Bitcoins, but they are test coins. Of course, that's not good, that's not cool, that's wrong, that's fraud. But if you sell testnet coins as testnet coins because people want testnet coins, I don't see a problem with that. But there is something though. If people start to trade testnet coins, I think the developers, Bitcoin developers, for sure, they're at least going to discuss whether they can create a new test network. However, I don't think it's as easy as just making a new network. Or actually, in 2011, they already did. For the same reason, people were actually starting to trade testnet coins. But it was a whole different ecosystem back then, or there was almost no ecosystem. Bitcoin was very small, so making a change like this would be very easy. But now, if they changed what's now called Testnet 3 into Testnet 4, all these applications that run on Testnet, they would also need to change. In many cases, maybe not, because it would kind of just look like a reorg. But I think practically speaking, a lot of these applications, they would at least need some developers to look into it. And yeah, time costs money. And I don't think they're really willing to do that. And maybe the worst argument is that some people would stop running Bitcoin Core just to protect testnet, or maybe not. But that could be a risk for the regular Bitcoin, so maybe that's why they would not even dare to even touch testnet anymore, just leave it as it is, even if testnet gets real value. Although it's a bit complicated topic, I don't have a full understanding, I will tell you that. I'm just saying that's a possibility. It's a possibility that they will not touch testnet because they're afraid of jeopardizing mainnet for that reason. However, there is something else the Bitcoin developers have done, and they have introduced Signet. Signet is more of a centralized testnet. There's actually someone who has the key to creating blocks, which is good for testing in many cases, because then you can make reorgs, you can make the blocks appear at certain intervals. You can make reg test and testnet, by the way, as a private network, but there is also one signet called global test, which is like the standard signet basically that you can sign up for. But I looked a little bit at it, not too much, but well, it was not that much infrastructure around it. Like, for example, when I did my experiment, I had to use testnet. I could not use signet in my case, at least. And I think testnet will just stay around for this reason, that there's more things built around it. Okay, so this is the big question. When will testnet Bitcoin get monetary value? I think it can happen anytime. The crypto market is really hot, and if it stays hot, it's just a question of time before someone will just start trading testnet coins. It can happen today, it can happen next month, or it might never happen. Maybe maybe it's just not gonna happen. And so this is how high up can the price go. And I don't see any limit. Actually, I can't. It's just too difficult to even get a number, because there's very, very, very few test coins around. Every new block at the moment, they get a reward less than 0.1 test coins. A lot of test coins, they have been burned. Burned as in people have been using them for testing. They probably just throw away the keys. So there's not much test coin around. So if people actually start paying for it and start collecting, start holding test coins, I don't see any upper limit to the price really. Maybe I should draw a parallel to Dogecoin. Not in the sense that I think testnet coin will go that high in market cap. It's not going to happen. But Dogecoin was made as a joke. And because it was made as a joke, maybe, that's why it stood out. That's why people actually started. That's why it got so much attention. That's why Elon Musk is tweeting about Dogecoin, because it's a joke. And all the attention it gets, it just drives demand for it. So it's like this, and especially when the price goes straight up, it gets even more attention and it gets more buyers. It's like this circle that's just crazy. And testnet, well, if testnet starts being traded, if it starts getting value, I think there will be some drama around this as well. Like you will have the developers, they're going to hate this. People are going to be called out for people are going to be called very nasty things for trading testnet coins because they're not supposed to be traded and so on. So it will be like some drama and some circus. And the more that's going on, the more the price will also be influenced. So I don't dare to predict anything. I don't encourage hoarding test bitcoins. You can't even buy them even if you want to. But I'm just talked about this as just an intellectually interesting theme and interesting thought.